It's always an important thing to remember people who died in the war, and some in the Asian community they don't remember those, and they tend to not remember those. And we talk about Joseph Peirce, who was a Chinese American who was brought over from China. And he was one of the only Chinese American who fought in the bloodiest battle in U.S. history. So he was like the highest ranking Chinese American soldier in the Union Army. So there's literally like a post about in the Chinese in the Civil War, 10 who served them. So back when the Asian countries were not very rich as they are now. So one story is told about how Joseph Peirce was sold by his father for $6 to feed his family, and then another of how his older brother sold him for around 50 to 60 into foreign slavery to get rid of him. So he was adopted and brought over to the U.S. by the adoptive father, Captain Amos Peck III. This was around the 1850s, according to the Pacific Citizen paper. So Joseph Peirce, that was his name. They decided to change his name to complete English. So the Peck family had taught him how to read and write upon arriving in the country, and they also let him keep his traditional Chinese braided queue. And he and his brothers were told about the hard and bloody history of the Revolutionary War, but that did not stop from him joining the war. And Joseph Peirce said that and he joined the war in July 26, 1862, which was the first year of the American Civil War. He was part of the 2nd Brigade of the 3rd Division, 2nd Army Corps of the Army of the Potomac. He was the only Chinese American in Army of the Potomac, over in the Union Army in the Eastern Theater. He was also fighting in the Battle of Antietam and the Battle of Gettysburg, which he got his ranks up of a corporal. So the former resulted in an estimated 22,720 casualties, and around estimated 50,000. And aftermath of the Gettysburg that battle. There was a report of a tourist finding a body of the battle. This was back in early in 1996. Joseph Peirce, he was given the honor to participate in a grand review of the armies in Washington. The American Civil War had ended in 1865. And after the war ended, he had moved to Meriden, Connecticut, where he had married an American woman, Martha Morgan, and they had 4 kids together. He had, it was believed that he had attended the 14th Connecticut Regiment reunion in 1890. He had retired in 1914, passed away from an illness on January 3rd, 1960, and at the age of 73. And his picture is in Gettysburg Museum. It was one of the only Chinese immigrants who had fought in the American Civil War. Unfortunately, his family didn't want him, and he was lucky to fight in the war, and also he taught how to read and write, and also make a difference. And at least he didn't die in the war. And he died in the illness instead. The problem thing was he one of the highest ranking people in soldier in the army. And people should not forget that these people also did make a difference, and also did something in the army. So remember their names. Usually Asian American people, they are usually forgotten, especially if they serve in the army. But don't forget their names.